What is up, guys? This is Trek from Chuck's Gaming here with a deck profile for Exodia. One of my friends actually gave me the idea of running Chicken Game and Pseudo Space with it. So that's the build I'm using. So Exodia has been around since the beginning of the game, and up until recently, it was just draw power, draw power, draw power, and you really had nothing to fall back on if you didn't hit Exodia on turn one because you run no offense, you run no retrieval, so it was kind of you either hit it or you don't. So Chicken Game kind of helps that, and I'll explain why towards the end of the video when we hit Chicken Game. All right, so let's get to it. So you got 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons. So he is the level 8. He's a level 8 monster. You never summon him. You just use him for trade-in. So that's discard a level 8 monster, draw 2 cards. So you've got 4 targets for that. You got the 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons, and then you've got your 2 Blue Eyes White Dragon. And then you've got your 5 pieces of Exodia next, obviously, because it's an Exodia deck, so you have to have all 5 pieces of Exodia in order to run it. And that is your win condition. Not Toon Table. Toon Table's in here. Because Toon Table into Toon Table into Toon Table into 2 Blue Eyes, trade in 2 Blue Eyes, you're good. Royal Magical Library. This is a really old card. I kind of totally forgot about this card until I decided I was going to do an Exodia deck. And I'm like, oh yeah, spell cards. So every time a spell card is activated, place 1 counter on it. When it hits 3, you send the counters to the grave. And you draw a card. The thing about this is a lot of cards that you have to remove counters for, the card itself goes too. Royal Magic Library stays, so you can just reuse it over and over and over again, which is one reason why some people just hate this stinking card, because you can use its effect multiple times and nothing happens. Alright, so then you got White Stone of Legend. It is your target for cards of consonants. So you cards of consonants into White Stone of Legend. You get a Blue Eyes after that, and you draw your 2 cards for card of consonants. And then you can just trade in that Blue Eyes. So you kind of combo there. You've got your 3 upstarts. You draw a card. Your opponent gains 1,000. So, you draw power, but you're just trying to get this guy. So, by any means necessary. So if your opponent has to gain 1,000 in the meantime, your opponent gains 1,000 in the meantime. It just happens. Alright, so 3 Golden Bamboo Swords. When you have a Broken Bamboo Sword, you draw 2 cards. Toon Table, search out a Toon card or a Magna Rairan. Then Pot of Duality. I only run 1 Pot of Duality for a specific reason. And that reason is the fact that you can only activate 1 Pot of Duality per turn. And I'm trying to get this deck to where I get Exodia in 1 turn. So if I have to Duality, I have to Duality, But since I can only activate 1 per turn, I only run 1 because I'm trying to get Exodia in 1 turn. Alright, so then Broken Bamboo Sword, you just play it. Monster gets 0 attack, but then you can play these. So, and now Chicken Race. So Chicken Game, Chicken Race, whatever you want to call it, depending on whether or not you play the TCG or the OCG. The player with the less life points takes no damage. Once per turn during either player's main phase, the turn player can pay 1,000 life points, then activate one of the following effects. Draw 1 card, destroy this card. Your opponent gains 1,000 life points, and cards and effects cannot be activated in response to this effect. So, what you do is you play it, you pay 1,000, you draw a card. So, if that 1,000 means that you're now lower than your opponent can't do damage to you. So, even if you don't get Exodia in 1 turn now, you have a safeguard, in a sense, as far as, since you can't take damage, you just kind of sit there, and it's nice. and then let your opponent play Yu-Gi-Oh! And you have the safeguard as long as chicken game doesn't get destroyed of not taking any damage. So it's kind of like a one day of peace where you draw a card and neither player takes damage, except for you get all of the pluses. You don't take damage if your life points are lower than your opponent's, and you draw the card and nothing happens with your opponent. So then you have pseudospace. What pseudospace is so I have chicken game in field spell zone. Then I play pseudospace. Then which destroys my chicken game. Chicken game's now in grave. Pseudospace effect, banish chicken game. Pseudospace becomes another chicken game for the turn. So I can go pay 1,000 for chicken game, draw a card. Then pseudospace, pay 1,000, draw a card. Chicken game, pay 1,000, draw a card. And just repeat that process as many times as I can. So it comes in handy. Alright, so that has been the Exodia chicken game build, and I will upload a video of it in action here shortly. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and this has been Chuck's Gaming.